Two. Welcome to LOTC Presents Black Glove Mysteries, where every other Friday we will take you on a journey through Italian cinema, specifically Giallo, but we reserve the right to take other avenues such as polizieschi, spaghetti westerns, Euro crime films. Either way, you will hear and now see us talk Italian cinema. This is episode 458, Double Double 77. I'm your host, Gregor Mortis, along with Ian La Punelli Irza. What's up, Ian?
Hey, how's it going? This was a lot of fun, this series. It was nice to get into some of these because I had been meaning to do it for a while. I don't know exactly how long I had had this set, but it was whenever Severin had put it out, I remember getting it. So um basically I'd had it since then, and I had wanted to get into more Dario stuff because who doesn't want to watch more Dario Argento stuff? So
That's
I
right.
still have yet to see the 5 days. I need to watch that one at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing with me with this one. I got it, I think after you did. I got it around the time I got opera. I think I got opera before this one. But when I saw it, I was like excited. And maybe it was you. Somebody had said, you should get it, deep cuts, yada, yada. So I went ahead and did it. And I'm with you, man. It's been sitting up on the shelf. So when you said let's do it, I'm like, perfect, man. Let's give me the chance to sit down and watch it for the show because sometimes our time, I'm sure with you as well, with me, with all the podcasts and stuff, man, it's hard to find time to watch just something not, podcast related. So
Sometimes, yeah.
having a reason to actually watch it for the podcast made it perfect,
Exactly.
dude. So great job on that one, man. And I got to say, Severin done a really good job. Now, what we're doing, and let's go ahead and show it. We are doing the deep cuts. Severin released Dario Argento's deep cuts, and this one has 3 discs, 4 disc. I'm sorry. So you got the 4 disc. Disc one is part one of the anthology that we're doing tonight, which is the Door into Darkness. So disc one has that. Disc two has part two of that. So there's two per disc, and disc three has the TV Nightmares interview and different things like that. And then disc four was the what was that? Giallo Argento. So that's Dario
Isn't
Argento's
it?
Nightmares.
Yeah, isn't it Lamberto Bava's like Night Shift or something like that?
I think that's in
Yeah,
three. I think, yeah. So some good stuff. I will say we're only going to look at Door into Darkness, the four episodic series, Italian cinema series they did, and I will say grainy at best. I mean, I'm sure they did as best as they could with 35 millimeter.
sure they did. Yeah, I mean, this is Seven we're talking about. They always do the best they can. So,
Yeah, I think they had the best print they could get. It's pretty grainy, but it's very watchable. It's not like the old YouTube
I mean,
video.
we're talking about a company that has restored Bruno Mattei movies to being like amazing quality. So,
Yes.
yes, they obviously went as
Yeah,
all out as they could with this.
absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all four of the episodes that were on this series or in this pack. Which the first one is the neighbor, and then we have the tram, the doll, and eyewitness. Those are the four that we'll be talking about, and we'll break those down and let you know what we thought about them and all that stuff. But I will say, room looks a little disarray. I know you can't tell, but if you looked just this direction, it would be on this direction camera wise. If you looked over here, Ian, you would see a disarray because we just moved over the weekend. So Pearl and I are trying to slowly get things put together, and yeah, so bear with us that it doesn't look quite exactly like it should, but Pearl's done good at camouflaging. It's like, man, yesterday, Ian, I couldn't even walk, man. It's like you're trying to walk around stuff, and I've got boxes and totes of just NECA figures and just all kinds of stuff, and they're everywhere. And I'm like, I don't even know where I'm gonna put them now. I have no clue, man. But we're gonna make it happen. But thank you for tuning in. This is once again 458 double double 77. If you're keeping tabs, I will say this is our Christmas episode, Ian. So
Yeah.
Merry Christmas and Hanukkah and all the celebrations and whatever you celebrate. This is holiday time, and this is going to be our holiday episode. Ian,
Yeah.
doing Argento.
And just as a quick sort of non sequitur for the show, rest in peace, Rob Reiner.
Absolutely, man. We lost a giant in cinema and in TV, and what a shame. What a
Yeah.
brutal. brutal tragedy that was, man. So sad. And
I think Ghosts of Mississippi I want is one I want to try to watch. I think I heard James Woods talking about that movie in an interview, and I was like, you know what, that might be one I want to put on at some point just to see how that's like, mostly because I like James Woods, but I also like Rob Reiner's movies as well. So that might be one I watch this weekend or something.
yeah, if nothing else, put Stand By Me on me too.
That's a
That
great one
was,
too.
oh man, such a giant. And so unfortunately, you're right. Rest in peace to Rob and his wife Michelle. And so with this, we're going to get into this episode in our next month, January. Ian, you've come up with a great idea. So next month we'll get into that. We're going to have a theme, which is going to be really freaking cool. I think it's going to be awesome. So we'll stay tuned and we'll announce that at the end of this episode. But if you're new to the YouTube channel, welcome. I hope you will subscribe. We've had 4 or 5 new subscribers in the last week or two, so that's been awesome.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Really appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. Share it. Share this video if you like it, and get your word out, because it's hard to get words out, and we try to do tags and we try to do stuff that gets attention, but do what you can to help us, and that'd be awesome, dude. We want as many as we can get over here to listen and watch the video and listen to you and Ian just shoot the breeze about some giallos and Plizzateskis and stuff like that. Italian cinema, man. Black Friday is over, Ian, officially. I think now. I know Arrow Video has a sale going right now that I'm into. Recently, I'm getting ready to get the Shaw Scope Volume 4, which I know it's not Italian. That is Hong Kong, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
Shaw
that
Brothers.
eventually as well.
They're doing their sale, and it's like $112. You can do it through Amazon.
It might be better than normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 150 or 125 on Arrow's site. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I got volume 2 coming. That one was only $80, man. That was a
Yeah, I like all of them. I think the third one is my favorite, mainly because it has one-armed swordsman in it. That
yes.
might be my favorite. That's one of my favorite martial arts films of all time, if not my personal favorite.
I love it. So hopefully we can get into some of those. But if you're listening to this now and it's still available, go to Arrow Video and check out their sale that they got going on and see what you can get a hold of. I know Vinegar Syndrome's fixing to Ian do their year subscription will be coming up in early January. So if you subscribe to Vinegar Syndrome during your year, that's fixing to come up. If you don't and you got the money to do it, I would love to do it, Ian, but I don't know financially. It's like $100 or whatever it is, or $1,000, I think it is, to do a whole year. You can do it by 6 month or a year, but man, you get all those releases and you get discounts. So it pays off, but it's like coming up with that chunk of change right at the beginning. But I do love Vinegar Syndrome, and I do love a lot of what they're putting out. So that might be something I may look at. I wish Severin would do it, because I'd really love to see Severin do
That
it.
might be more tempting for me, truth be told.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely do a little bit more of the Italian cinema
Yeah.
and those Euro crime stuff that we love, Ian. So Severin, what are you doing? hook a brothers up, man. Let's get something going so we can.
Cauldron announced something recently. They announced that they were restoring something, and I can't remember what it was. I had it and I lost it, but there was some Italian movie that I know I liked that they said that they were going to do a restoration of. I just can't remember what it was.
That's cool. Cauldron is banging it. I finally got in my 4 releases for them, so I have all that House of Doom now. I think you bought the whole box set, but I ended up getting them individually. So I did get all those. So I'm super excited. Those were Lamberto Bava and Lucio Fulci. So
Conquests, Fulci's Conquest is what they're doing a restoration of.
Okay, so
I have the Code Red Blu-ray, but I might, if they do some good features on it, I might get that one.
yeah, I do not actually. I don't think I own that one. I don't think I own that one, or maybe I do. I got Contraband. Actually, I feel like I do have that one, but yeah, it'd be something maybe I can get into as well. I love Fulci, and I'm trying to get all Fulci stuff, so we'll see what happens. It's, time, money, and space, brother. That's the way the world goes
Right.
round. But man, I hope everybody has had a great, great holiday so far, and that your Thanksgiving went great, and now your Christmas is going to go even better. And then we got a new year coming up, Ian. A new year, a new us. Well, maybe not a new us, but a new year and more episodes, man. So super excited about that. So I don't know, Ian. You ready to get this one going?
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll. So what we're going to do is once again we're going to be looking into this set from Severn, Deep Cuts. So we're going to get into this one and we'll break these down episode by episode. And I think we'll go right to the beginning, Ian. It is The Neighbor. And I'll let you give the plot synopsis for that and we'll talk about it.
Okay, so this is from Troy Howarth's So Deadly, So Perverse.
Yes.
Yep.
Shout out to Troy. What's up, Mr. Troy? Love you, buddy.
Yeah. And so the synopsis for this one is a young couple with a baby move into a new home in the countryside. They soon discover that their upstairs neighbor has murdered his wife. They attempt to make a hasty retreat before the old man realizes that they are onto him.
First thing I've got to say about this movie, Ian, and it's directed by Luigi Calzi, and love, love, love Luigi. We do. But here's the first thing I got to say. This family is one of the most trusting families I've ever seen with a child. They have this baby infant that they're basically moving into this apartment in the middle of the night. Who does that? But anyways, they literally go in and they have no power, right? And the first thing they do is they put their baby down in a little crib. I mean, not a crib, but their little bassinet thing or whatever, like a stroller thing. And they sit it on the ground and they're trying to make some light and everything. And they said, we'll go out. So they leave the baby in the house with the door open in an apartment. They don't know nothing about this place and walk away. And it's like, who does that, Ian? Like, what are we watching right now? What is this? Is this an Italian thing, Ian, where we just trust
I don't know.
leaving an infant?
That was something I thought of as well when
Like,
you were
who
saying it.
does that, dude? Oh, we'll just walk next door and see if we can find the neighbor, or walk upstairs and see if we can find some light or something. The baby will be fine. That baby can't walk. It's just leave him. He'd be fine. Don't worry about it. What? Person, what about a bug? I was like, bug? What about a murderer or something coming in, or a kidnapper taking his child? But anyways, that was the first thing that just really took me by shock. But I think the opening of these, Ian, are so fun because we have those introductions from Mr. Dario Argento himself.
Yeah.
Not the best, I'll be honest. He's not an Alfred Hitchcock. he's, he's not a John Carpenter from Body Bags, but it's serviceable. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, I like how he talks about how why they called it Door into Darkness. And he had said anyone can relate to, shutting a door and not being able to turn on the light and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, totally, totally. So then we got this couple now. With this couple, when they come in, Ian, I thought a little quirky. We know the neighbor has some shadiness going on, the upstairs neighbor or whatever, which he does come in and into play in this episode. What did you think of this one? Like musically, tone wise, I like the music in all these episodes.
All
It's,
done by the same guy too.
and you can
It was
tell,
Giorgio Gaslini, I think.
yeah, 100% you
Um,
can tell.
he worked with Dario later in Deep Red and collaborated with Goblin. This was where Dario had started to do more of that kind of music because he had already started it in Four Flies on Gray Velvet when Ennio Morricone did much more percussion heavy music in that one,
Yeah.
mainly because the main character was in a band. But this one he kind of continues that. Gaslini is definitely very the scores are very jazzy, especially in I think it was the doll or no, it might have been the tram actually that had the more
It did.
specifically jazzy score. This one still has strings to it. One of them, I think it was the doll, had like a lot of woodwind instruments in it, if I remember correctly, but a lot of them have percussion and strings and some piano mixed together at certain points as well. I thought it was kind of interesting. The movie itself, I think, is not exactly that well paced, but there is some good suspense here and there. I think of the one moment in particular where the guy is trying to get is still inside the neighbor's house upstairs, and the girlfriend's trying to keep the other guy from going back in because she knows he's still in there.
Mm.
That's a pretty good moment. And there's the moment with the matches where he realizes that he has the matches in his coat. You're just waiting to see when something is going to happen. Because I think the moments of them just wandering around the house are not all that interesting, truth be told, until they go upstairs and then they have to kind of formulate a plan around that. Then it becomes a little bit more interesting. Um, and then I think it loses a little bit of luster when it goes from nighttime to daytime. I think the atmosphere was a little bit better during the nighttime. But I still thought it had its good moments and it had its moments where it could have been better.
Mhm. Yeah, one thing I did like about it, I did like the scene where the guy's out there digging the holes. I thought that was kind of cool, and all these have that giallo aspects to it. But I totally agree with it being like a lot of the moments of them walking around and stuff like that. I found myself almost dozing, like it was just not any tension for me. But then those few moments you mentioned kind of ramped up a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is not horrible. I can do this one, but I was wanting more. I was just feeling like, and this was made for TV, so you don't have and none of these have the gore that we were looking for necessarily with an Argento or whoever. So you have no gore, you have no nudity, you have no cursing, anything like that. This is a very tame, PG esque, episodes in my opinion. But looking at the cast, Ian, what did you think of the cast in this one? Because I did you recognize anybody?
I did. I recognize Laura Belli, who
Mm,
played the girl Tomas Milian kidnaps in Almost Human.
yep,
That
Stefania in this one. Yeah,
Yeah, that was. I think she was the only one I recognized. Even the guy who plays the guy upstairs. What was his name again?
that was
Mimo Palmera.
Mimo Palmara. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't recognize him from anything either. Although he looked like he could have been and stuff.
yeah. I feel like he has been. Let's click on him real quick. Let me see because he died in 2016, so he did get some age. He was in Hercules and the Ten Gladiators, the Two Gladiators. It looks like a lot of those.
Oh yeah, it looks like he was in a lot of Peplum films.
Yes, definitely a lot of Peplin films. So I don't recognize anything right offhand, but he
No,
just has that face. Maybe it was that. But I don't know, man. The cast was just kind of bland to me. Like everything was kind of bland. I was waiting for something. Pearl watched it, and she's at the end of the movie. She was kind of like, "So is there a continuance? Like, is there something else to, And these do kind of are supposed to kind of tie in, but they don't, do they? They never,
no,
other than the fact that Dario, doing his intros, and basically all four of them were supposed to have kind of the same or a type of same theme-ish type of scenario. But there is nothing in comparison with any of these. There's no tie-ins. There's no, continuance. Nothing. It's like one episode, hour and 57 or hour, 57 minutes, 58 minutes, whatever, and then they're done. and this one, I was ready for it. To be honest, I was kind of ready for this one to be done. I was like, let me see what gets into the second one. I hate to say it, but I did.
Well, I did want to talk about a little bit how all four of these, I mean, obviously, these were made for television, and you can tell because in all four of these, there's no nudity, there's not really much violence to speak of. Most of the kills are done off screen. As a matter of fact, at least a couple of these basically are about, well, how did this person die? Because we didn't
Yeah.
see it, basically. So there's a lot of that. And I think that they probably had rules they had to abide by because it was television. I don't know exactly how different the Italian television censorship was compared to American back then, but obviously it's not like they could get away with the same things they could in films.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe, because of it being like the French. I know French cinema was a little more risque. Like you could get away with a little bit more on TV on some because if you look at some of the old commercials of in French, they're pretty risky, dude. I'll be like, dang, that's pretty much like a episode of Benny Hill going on over here with a little more cleavage. But I was thinking Italian cinema. I was like, man, these are going to be pretty. Dario's going to have some good reins and be able to throw out some stuff, but obviously they didn't, or maybe they just didn't have the budget, or maybe they just didn't go that route. But these are very tame. These are very PG. You could show these to anybody and you would be fine. What did you have on the dubbing or anything on this one?
Well, they're all in Italian, so I don't have
Yeah.
anything for that. Yeah.
I think it should. I think some of the voices were not necessarily. I think I don't know. I love Dario in these things though. Dario had that cool little intro, or not the intro, but he kind of had that beginning where he's getting into the car. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah. Anytime Dario, I think he did it in. I know two of them. He had
Yeah.
a little spot in two of them, so that was kind of cool. Luigi Okazi. I mean, we love, or I love Luigi Okazi as a
Yeah, I
villain.
like Luigi Cotti.
I don't know about this one though. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if maybe the restraints were too
I
high.
think my favorite film that he did as a director was Contamination, probably.
Love freaking Contamination. I've got that one just sitting right there. Arrow Video. That was one of the first Arrow videos I bought, and
Yeah, I have it too.
such a cool alien ripoff movie. Man, it's bonkers. And if you've never
Paganini
seen it,
horror. He directed that.
yeah, yeah.
Star Crash, rather infamous Star Wars ripoff.
Bikini Horror is really good. That's
Yeah,
got Dario Argento in it. And that's got some really cool moments, some good music. I'm looking around because I've got them all floating around in here somewhere, and I'm like, I gotta, I gotta redo my movie shelves, Ian. I just try to get stuff put up, and I'm like, my movies are not where I used to have them. They're driving me nuts. But no, he's Luigi Kazi, man. He's a good director, but this one just kind of, yeah, this is iffy. What else you want to talk about on this one?
not much I can think of really. I think I talked about basically what I liked and what I didn't like. I thought it had a decent atmosphere to start, but not necessarily good pacing.
Yeah,
And I just thought it could have done more. Maybe and again, this could have been whatever violence restrictions they had, but you could have made like something nastier about a guy, kidnapping two people or whatever, and
yeah,
you could have done something more with that than ended up being. So I just think it does. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity, but it doesn't. It's not bad per se either.
yeah. Luca being you had your three cast members: Aldo Reggiani, who played Luca, and then you got Laura Belli, who played Stefania, and then Mimo Palmara played the neighbor. So that was your cast. Very small cast. Very, I won't say it was like one location, but it was kind of one location with apartment, and there was different things going on. But there again, I will say this, and we'll move to the second one. Who walks into an apartment to move in the middle of the night with nothing but a TV and like a little portable TV and a candle, I guess, because he found a candle and something else. Like, hey, we're home, and there's no power. Like,
They're watching like House of Frankenstein or something, I
yes,
think.
right.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
watching one of the Universal Frankensteins. I don't know which one it is because I think Dracula's in it too. And I think they even mentioned like the Invisible Man being in it or something. So it's got to be one of the later ones. It's either like,
it was the oh God, Abbott and Costello.
oh, it
The
was. Okay.
Yeah,
They
Abbott
didn't
Costello.
show any Abbott and Costello. That's why I wasn't sure.
No, at the very beginning, I think they showed like the little title
Oh,
sequence,
okay. Yep.
and then they get into where the Wolfman and all that stuff, which I don't know how they got away with the rights of that.
No, I don't know either.
Maybe that's a little something under the, but there's definitely Universal going on in there, and I don't know how you're getting away with that. But regardless, it's manageable. It's okay. So let's move into our second episode, Ian, and this one is the tram. What you got on this one?
A young woman is murdered on a crowded tram and nobody notices. It is up to Commissario Giordani to figure out not only who the murderer was, but how he or she managed such a feat in the first place.
Dum, dum. This one was actually one of the better. There's two that I enjoyed a lot on these, or at least enjoyed, and then there's two that are kind of duds. This is one of the ones I actually enjoyed. This has got a good mystery going to it, and it's all taking place on this tram. So basically, a woman is found dead. We got that scene opening up, Ian, where the guy's on the tram with a vacuum cleaner and he's sucking up all the, dirt. I mean, not dirt, but like trash. And all of a sudden, he gets a hair clunk. Like, oh shit, there's a body. And then that's when we're introduced to the Inspector Giordani, played by Enzo Sarasico. And I love this guy, dude. I liked his character, man. He done this little snap thing whenever he's talking, trying to figure out he's doing his snap thing. Pearl said, "Why does he keep snapping?" I said, "I don't know. I think it's just his little way of getting his mind in tick, trying to keep himself on cue." Uh, and then we have this has got a good cast, by the way. Some people that we remember, right, Ian?
Yeah. Well, Fulvio Mengozi and Tom Feleggi are both in it. Yet
Yes,
another movie where they both show up.
right.
Yet another Argento movie with Fulvio Mengozi. He's in like all of his movies.
But the whole tram thing, so basically they're trying to track down the murder of this woman who did it. And the way he sets it up is basically he goes back and finds out the first thing's the ticket holder, right? We got the ticket holder and the guy that is the guy that drives the train, whatever you call him, the conductor. So you got them two, and I'm immediately kind of feeling like the ticket holder's shady as hell. Like he's just got a way about him. It's just like, is he guilty or is he not guilty? He kept cutting eyes over at the conductor when he's interviewing him. But anyways, so they find out who all is on the tram, and they basically reenact what's happening. And they can't figure out how that the ticket holder and the cam driver should be able to see what's going on at all time. And the guy's like, how in the world can somebody murder a woman, stick her under a seat, and nobody know about it? And that's the whole setup of this one. So
Well, I kind of like how, okay, Dario Argento, for a lot of his films, at least in the first few Giallos that he did, he would always construct these big murder set pieces around that the sort of first kill or whatever, or the motivating kill for the rest of the film. Like you think of Bird with the Crystal Plumage, you think of the kill in the art museum or the art gallery, whatever it was, and how that sort of permeates through the rest of the film. And Four Flies on Grey Velvet, it's the one that takes place on the stage. And basically what you have here is, whether it was because of censorship or Dario was just doing something different, it's almost like he's deconstructing what he normally does in a way where you still have that mystery element and that signature, that signature thing around one murder or one kill, but it's done differently where you don't see it. It's not necessarily a character's recollection of said event. It's more someone from the outside trying to figure out exactly what happened
yeah,
and interpreting it in their own way. And like the way it's done, I actually think is really cool. Like how it ends up being something to do with like the amount of time between a turn on the tram and the light going out for a
yeah,
second and being like, okay, this is what's going on. And this is literally the only person who could have done it. Like he figures that out
yeah,
pretty, not necessarily quickly, but he deducts it, really, really well. And I like how there's a whole process of elimination thing. He gets everybody on the tram to try to, sit where they were and
mm,
stop where they stopped. And, some people were having a hard time being like, oh, this person sat over here, or this person, the raincoat
yeah,
or whatever was over there. Like there's some interesting things going on there like that. It had enough to keep you at interest, even without necessarily thinking about exactly what was going on around that one kill.
yeah. 100%, totally agree. The cast was good in this one. I like the use of some of the I believe it was Julia, character played by Paolo Tedesco.
Yeah.
Um, I like how they were able to incorporate these characters, and we get to know in quick, because this was like, what was this episode? I think it was 50 some minutes. This might have been one of the longer. I think this one might have been like an hour. There was two that was like an hour, and some
I
were
think this one is only like 55 minutes,
okay.
actually.
So this is one of the shorter, but it was one of those where you at least got to know each, or at least some of the characters, right? You got the old lady with the glasses that, she swears this has happened, and then you got the one guy that says, "I sat here," and the woman's like, "No." All these characters had their own little personalities, and I think it was kind of cool seeing how they were all set up, right? You kind of figure out who's who and what's going on. And it's not until they arrest and convict very quickly, by the way. Like, this court system gets it done quick. Like, they're not fooling around. Like, it's like, okay, we're going to arrest this guy. I think he's the killer. And guess what? You got 30 years. You're in the slammer already. Like wow. Like, can I even get a lawyer and figure this thing out?
Okay. I was really laughing early on when that one guy came in and tried to confess,
Oh,
and he kept changing the amount of times that he said he stabbed her.
six? And he's like, four, three? He said, He's like, come on, bro. And he knew right away. He's like, this guy's a freak, man. I love that guy. He was so funny.
That was really funny. That was something you would find in Dario's earlier films, was a character in a moment like that.
Absolutely. And it did fit, man. That was so fun. But then we find out, they convict and imprison a person, but then it's not until after he leaves the court that the inspector, Enzo, or Inspector Giordani, he's sitting there thinking about it. He's like, something just is not right, right? He gets in the car with his lady, and she's like, how'd it go? And he's being quiet, and he's just running things through his head, and he's starting to see flashes. And that's when he's like, I got to do this again. Something ain't right. And that's when we start finding the mystery, right? We got the mystery gloved guy that follows the tram around when he's reenacting it the second time. And it was fun. It was fun. This one was actually entertaining, and it's a lot of it on this tram, which was fine. And when he finds out exactly in his head, he's like, this is the moment, because when the tram kind of turns and it's like there's a blind spot and then there's dark, and it's like it triggered, and he's like, that's when it happened. I was like, dude, this is awesome. I love that. Dario knows how to put that mystery out, man. And then once we got through that, I thought that, okay, and then they find out who the killer is. And wasn't surprising once you actually find out who the killer is. Then you're like, well, that was pretty obvious. I didn't think it was him, or her, without spoiling him or her. But when it was revealed, I was like, duh.
Yeah.
It made sense, right? Not rocket science on that one, but I like this one. I like this one a lot, Ian. The murder was a sharp instrument through the back of a neck, even though you don't see the blood or anything, but that's how, the person had died. It's pretty clever. I liked it. I'd like to see this one in a good Dario style, like a lot of the gore. There would have been probably a glass face through a glass smash or something in there, and Dario could have did a lot with this one if it would have been full. But yeah, whatever. But the cast is good. You agree?
Yeah. I have some of our Hall of Fame rankings for this too.
Let's do it. We didn't have nothing on the first one, correct?
No,
Okay.
nothing as far as I know. Enzo Carusico, who plays the inspector or the commissario. We saw him in Blood and Black Lace, so he is officially an all-star. Let's go to Paola Tedesco. I'm pretty sure we've seen her in something else. Maybe. Yep. Watch Me When I Kill.
Yep.
So she is now an all-star. Gildo DeMarco. We saw him in Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Four Flies on Gray Velvet. So he's a superstar now. Tom Pileggi is a Hall of Famer. I already know that. All the Colors of the Dark, Four Flies on Gray Velvet, Cat o' Nine Tails, Case of the Scorpion's Tail, Spasmo, Eyeball, Escape from the Bronx, Seven Bloodstained Orchids, Rome Armed to the Teeth, and Oasis of Fear. I believe that's it.
Like Oasis of Fear.
Fulvio Mingozzi, another Hall of Famer. We've got Four Flies on Gray Velvet, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Cat o' Nine Tails, Black Belly of the Tarantula, Case of the Scorpion's Tail, Eyeball, The Boss, Seven Bloodstained Orchids, The Big Racket, The Heroin Busters, Rome Armed to the Teeth.
Wow. Wow.
Salvatore Puntillo, maybe. We saw him in The Psychic and What Have They Done to Your Daughter? So he's also a superstar. And I believe that is it. I'm going to look. Oh, no, Corrado Olmi. We also saw him in Cat o' Nine Tails and Four Flies on Gray Velvet. A lot of links to those two films here specifically. Yeah. So he's also a superstar. Yeah, this Dario Argento loves to use a lot of different people. Maria Tedeschi, who plays the sort of older woman with the glasses.
Yeah.
We saw her in Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Seven Bloodstained Orchids, The Fifth Chord, in the Case of the Bloody Iris. So yeah, that makes her, Hall of Fame background player.
Yeah, it was like The Fifth Chord is where I remembered her from.
And yeah, I remember her in the Case of the Bloody Iris now that I've seen it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I love seeing, we've said it, man. I love seeing reoccurring characters pop up, man. I like other actors. So this one was fun, man. This one would have, if I would have graded this one, this would have been like an 8.5. I really, the other one would have been about a 7. But this one would have been about 8.5, man. I enjoyed this, and I could watch this one again.
I didn't like it quite as much. I think if I had to rate the first one, I would give a 5.
Hmm.
I would give this a 6.5. So this I did like this one quite a bit more.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's and the music was good in this, and this one I think we mentioned was kind of more
Yep.
jazzier side, which makes sense being on a tram, and it's kind of the fast pacing of a tram and everything, so you need that kind of jazzy feel. All right, let's get into our third one here, and this one is called The Doll. And what you got on that one?
So it says a psychopath escapes from an insane asylum and goes on a killing spree. The killing spree. I think only like one person dies.
Right.
The police and the psychiatrist must attempt to overcome their differences in approach in order to apprehend the killer before it is too late.
Mhm. This one was I don't know, man. This was weird. Robert Hoffman, our buddy Robert Hoffman, Ian.
Yeah,
Who,
we've seen him in some stuff.
yeah, I won't say his character because I think that might spoil it big time what his character is. But he's a shady character in this one. He shows up with a trench coat and he's got a briefcase with him. Doesn't say hardly anything. He goes to rent a room and the woman's like being real nice and asking him all these questions and he just ignores her. He's just like, "Give me a room. I'm tired." She gives him a room. He's like, "Not that one, this one." And it's just like everything's just really dry with him. And this woman's like, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?" Right? And she's a nosy ass woman. I'll give her though, because she does walk into his room and checks his damn briefcase to see what's in there. Like, who does that? Damn, little nosy witch. But anyway, so that actually plays into something toward the end of this movie. But casting this one, we got Erica Blanc in this one.
Yeah,
Holy cow, boy, love that. Love seeing her and
kind
Berto
of in a
Rock.
different role for her, actually. Not necessarily the role you expect.
Yeah, not
But
not the sexy femme fatale for sure. Uh, but at least seeing her, that's awesome. Umberto Rao,
yep,
love
yeah,
Umberto.
yeah. I like seeing him too.
Yeah, he's always that character that has that stoic, just kind of posture, and he's just one of those. But some really good cast members in this one, and this one had quite a few characters in it going on. But we're following this woman who is she crazy? She's witnessed a murder? Is something going on? And then we got the crazy guy following, or this trench coat, briefcase wearing guy, following her and tracking her down everywhere she goes. And this one had some elements in it, Ian, for sure, right?
Yeah, I just don't know. I think I was disappointed with how it just doesn't really seem like it goes anywhere. I mean, there's something that's supposed to be a twist at the end, but it really doesn't feel like one when it happens. It's like one
Right.
of those things where you're like, really, that's it? Like that's all I kind of felt when it was over. I was like, really, that's it?
Yeah.
Like you like the
100%.
premise seems to promise more than one, more than one kill and some crazy killer, and it just really doesn't really get there. And the premise even said something about the psychologist and the cops like having conflict, and they really don't. There's really like
No.
one scene where they say something about the methods they each use, but there's really not much there with that. It just seems like a lot of missed opportunities here for anything that
Yeah.
compelling. I mean, the scene with Erica Blanc in the shop I thought was kind of interesting, and
Yeah.
that like machine sewing shop or whatever was kind of interesting. There's a good suspense scene there, but that's really kind of the only one that you get.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the thing. There was just not a lot other than those couple moments, and that's what was disheartening. And Mario Fagoletti directing, so I'm like, okay, let's see what we got here, and it was kind of really tame and really just not a lot going on. Like, here's my thing, and I'm gonna spoil this part because it won't affect the movie, but I was thinking maybe that there was something. Was she real or was she actually a doll? And was this guy thinking she was, we're seeing it played out, but it was actually him with the doll because the whole movie's name called The Doll or La Bambola. But that didn't play out. So I'm like, okay, so this is a real woman. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I mean, there is a doll in
Yeah,
this involved, but it's not. It's like
I
such an inconsequential minor thing.
Yeah, like you could have called this like Psycho Ward, or you could have there's a lot of things you could have called this, or I don't know, but the doll would have not been the first idea that I'd have come up with for a title for this movie at all. I mean, it's just one scene in a shop that whatever. But Robert Hoffman, and I've had my misses with Robert Hoffman. I've had my moments where I was like, he's dry, he's whatever.
I actually didn't mind him in this just
I
because he
didn't either.
played this pretty well. I thought what his character is supposed to be, like the mysterious part of it, I thought he actually did pretty well here.
100% agree. But that reveal at the end was so anticlimactic. So like if that's what you were sticking your landing on, you missed. Like it's off the
Mm-hmm.
runway in the dirt, fixing to hit the water. Like you missed the runway on this one. 100%. Maria Vinier, who plays Daniela in this one, she was good.
Yeah,
There at the end, what was happening, I'm like, she's good, not great. I wonder if it would have been better if Erica Blanc's character would have been flipped.
might have been better because at least you could buy I think you could buy it more with how it ends, like let's say what her character ends up being at the end.
Right.
I think you could buy Erica Blanc in that part a little bit better.
Agree, agree. But there again, I do. Anytime she pops up on screen,
Yep.
I pay attention. I do like her as an actress. She's amazing, and she's been. You'll get into it, but she's been in so many of our fun movies.
I will say Maria or Mara Venier and Gianfranco D'Angelo, who played the commissioner, they were both big in the sex comedy films from what I was seeing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wonder if I have.
Especially D'Angelo.
Yeah, he has such. It's his face, and
Yeah.
here's his whole character was like he was putting stuff up his nose, like some nasal thing, and he's like, "I'm going to get a cold. I'm going to get sick." Like, what are we doing? Why is this a thing? Why are we just watching this guy keep talking about he's going to get sick, and then it's that whole sneeze at the end. He said, "I knew I'd get sick."
And to me, kind of a wasted Umberto Rajo performance as well. I think like he's a guy who's normally good at playing those shady characters too, and you really didn't use him very well here.
100%. I was really hoping that he would have had a much larger role because I love him as an actor. He's just a really good, backdrop actor or whatever, but he's still really good at what he does. And they definitely missed the boat on that one. I don't want to say it was a miscast because having him in the movie or in the episode is great for you as a filmmaker, but you really misused him 100%. But overall, it was okay. I would like to see a lot more. The reveal, dud. This is probably, I would say, I'm changing. I'm changing. The first one would be a 6. This one, I'm going to be at like a 6, 5.56. This one was one of my least favorites for sure because of just not going anywhere.
Well, and then at a certain point, it kind of becomes stale because it's like what is his idea, what is going on here? Like we know that
Right.
that the ending eventually happens, but basically it's like he's waiting so long. If he's going to attack this woman,
Hmm.
why is he waiting so long to do it? Like he's
Yeah.
basically saying all these things to maybe subtly manipulate her, and that's what makes the ending a little bit more plausible. I still don't really like it, but basically it makes sense. It kind of makes sense what he's doing, but at the same time, if he is supposed to be a dangerous person, why is he waiting so long to make his move? Most guys would do something sooner if they were planning to, I mean, say assault her or do something like that.
Yeah.
It becomes evident over time that it's not what's going on. So when the twist happens, it's a little bit like it doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you on that. Musical tone on this one. This one definitely had some of those wind,
Yeah, like the flute and stuff.
woodwind.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which all the music there again, and like you said, same musical guy, so that makes sense that they all kind of sound the same. Vocally, it feels TV, right? It
Yeah.
feels like that 70s made for TV in America type stuff. It feels that style, so it works for what it is. But La Bambola is La Bambamba. It's like La Bamba. It was a little bit of letdown. World's giving me to look up here. So, what do you got on our All Stars and Hall of Famers on this one?
So Robert Hoffman, I think this makes him a superstar because we saw him in Spasmo, and what was the other one? Black Veil for Lisa.
Mario.
Erica Blanc, we saw her in. Did we covered Kill Baby Kill? Yeah, we did.
Yes.
The night Evelyn came out of the grave, Kill Baby Kill, Big Guns, So Sweet, So Perverse, Body Puzzle, and I believe that is it at the moment for her.
Hmm.
But that, I mean, because she is a star, I would call her an all-time great for the show, actually.
Okay.
Um, Not just a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
This next person might be a Hall of Famer. This is Umberto Rajo, the bird with the crystal plumage, cat of nine tails, the night Evelyn came out of the grave, crimes of the black cat, oasis of fear. I believe that's it for now, but there might be more from him eventually. I find it so funny that at one point in his career, like later on, he shared the screen with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman in Double Team because he played a priest in that movie and he's in a scene with both of them.
Double team.
Yeah. That's actually a really good action movie, but it's just funny to me that's like Humberto Rajo turns up in that movie.
Say, hey, I know
Yeah.
him. Cool. Anybody else you got on there?
And as far as I know, no.
Okay. Let's go then. We'll move into our last one then. We're going to go into there we go. Let me pull up. All right. So our last one is going to be Eyewitness, and this one is a co-directing venture. Testimony Oculaire, Eyewitness. Go ahead, Ian. What you got on that one?
Roberta is driving home when she nearly runs over a woman who rushes out in front of her car. She stops to see if the woman is okay and discovers that she is dead with a bullet wound in her chest. Roberta sees a man coming towards her with a gun, so she flees the scene and contacts the police. When the police arrive on the scene, there is no body and no sign of a murder.
No blood, no nothing. Like how did? Well, that was a quick cleanup. All right, this movie or this episode, whatever you want to call it, I think this is one of those where they're trying to manipulate you as a viewer. Is this all mental? Did she hit him, or is she losing her mind? And the husband, is he on the up and up, or is he a loving husband, or whatever? And you'll find out at the end of this one. I really, really, really thought that Roberta, played by Marilu Tolo, I thought she was good, and I really loved the police inspector, Glauco Honora.
Yeah, I remember him from The Big Racket, and I really liked him in that movie too.
He's really good in this one. Really good as the inspector, I thought, and some of the other cast members in this one. So this one is, I don't know. This may be my favorite. I don't know. I said the tram, but this one right here is right up there too. But we got good cast in this one as well, Ian.
Yeah, I would agree. And it was nice to see Ricardo Salvino again playing kind of a different role here than I've seen him in any other film. Because he kind of plays like the tough cop in Stunt Squad and Colt 38 Special Squad. And Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. He plays like the motocross racer who's Edwidge Fennick's object of interest, let's say. And then here he's playing kind of a shady boyfriend. Like you don't
Yeah.
exactly know what's going on with him, mainly because he doesn't believe his girlfriend about the things that she
Mhm.
supposedly saw.
Yeah.
Which I found to be an intriguing mystery because it's like one of those things where like even when Glauco Honorado invites her in to look at pictures, like they're trying to figure out who she saw as well, like who she may have saw, because they don't know who it is because the body disappeared, obviously.
Right.
So they have no idea, like they don't know who killed her or who she was. So it's two things at once kind of that's going on.
Yeah.
And eventually there are subtle signs that someone might be after her. There's the whole thing where she gets pushed into the traffic,
Yeah.
like she almost gets pushed into a car at one point. Then there's one scene where she gets a phone call and there's no one on the other end of the line, and then eventually the killer does make a phone call.
Mhm.
But there's subtle signs there that someone someone thinks that she knows or has seen a little bit too much, even though there's no evidence that she's seen or heard too much, basically.
Agree. Yeah. I thought the scene where she was pushed, she says she was pushed, right? But like all these eyewitnesses, like she wasn't pushed, like she tripped or she slipped or she blah blah. So she's trying to tell the inspector. The inspector is trying to believe her, right? But he is being straight up honest. Like, I have no body, I have no evidence. And then he ends up showing her all these photos, and none of them are her. So he's like, I have nothing to go, but you got to give me something, right? And that would be a good thing, right? Like, if I was going to tell, if you don't have a body, you don't have a murder, you don't have anything, right? So what's the police got to go by? They have nothing to go by. And then it's that whole moment where, the photo situation where she's going through the photos and she's like, you don't believe me, right? You don't believe me. You think I'm, and then the pushing off the tram and everybody, or off the road, and nobody's believe. He said, you got to look at it from my perspective. It's not whether I believe you or not, but you're not giving me nothing to believe you with. Like, I felt sorry. I mean, I didn't feel sorry, but I felt I would have been the same way, right? How am I going to believe you if you were
He
man
does
out?
say though, at a certain, like, even if he doesn't believe her, he
Mm-hmm.
still offers assistance, which I thought
Yeah,
was nice, where he said basically like, look, I want you, your husband's not going to come home until later, which
yeah.
that ends up being something. But basically, he says, okay, your husband's not going to come home until later, so make sure you stay at home, lock the door, don't go out anywhere, don't let anybody in that you don't trust, and then if you need anything, just call me or call this number, basically. um Something I like about the end, and this doesn't really give away anything, but all I'm really going to say is I like that the cops show up by accident at the end. I thought that was kind of
Oh,
cool.
yeah. That was actually because there's even the scene where she asks, or she's like, how did you know, or whatever. And he's like, oh, it's by chance. I loved that. I thought that was
Yeah, I
really
thought
cool.
that was really clever.
I thought maybe somebody had called him or somehow right before she got the phone line clipped that, they got through or whatever. But no, it was straight up by chance. That was awesome. And then his reveal at the end of Hal, and that photo was awesome. This was a lot of fun. This one was had its moments, and the reenactment, or not the reenactment, but when they're driving and the guy keeps looking at her, the husband's looking at her when
Yeah,
she's
I mean the suspense scene at the end really reminded me a lot of some of how Four Flies on Gray Velvet ends, but I still really liked it a lot. I mean, it felt very, very Argento. Like the tram feels like him in a lot of ways. So does this one, especially towards the end.
Do you feel how much Luigi Cozy had to do with this one?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I do wonder if there's any information on the special features that I haven't watched yet of like if he talked about which person was more involved in this or not. I don't really know.
It feels very Argento
It
without
does, yeah.
just the suspense and the way that Argento is able to guide movies. This one definitely felt very Argento. I didn't I didn't recall. I know I probably knew deep down subconsciously, but I didn't recall when I'm watching them, and I didn't look to see who the directors were until I finished them. I was telling that off air, Ian. And when I finished all four of them, I was like, number two and number four are my favorite. And I looked, I'm like, Argento, no wonder. So
I gotta be honest. There's like to me, when you watch the doll, it's like there's no way that Dario Argento could have directed this. It just doesn't. There's no like it's not like you can't like there's no way because the pacing is just so sluggish and it's just not very interesting. Like there's
yeah,
I just cannot imagine Argento in his prime making a movie like that.
right.
Whereas the what's the first one, the one in the home, or this was it,
Oh, you're talking about the neighbor.
the neighbor.
Yeah,
That movie I could have seen him making. It doesn't really
a little
seem
bit.
like a movie he made, but it's a little bit more plausible than him making the doll, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So this one right here, really good cast in it. Fairly large cast. The reveal at the end was awesome. I love what happens at the end. Or don't love. I will say I enjoyed it. Let me take the word loved out. So there's a lot of stuff a lot better than this one. But I will say it was enjoyable. I had fun. I could see myself rewatching this one in the background or something. I would probably skip the doll if I had to put this in. I'd be like, okay, let's just skip the doll and go straight to Eyewitness. The first one, I'd say skip the first one, Eyewitness or
Yeah,
Neighbor.
the
Yeah,
tram and this I could see watching again
I
easily,
wish they were on the
especially this
same
one
disc.
actually.
I
Yeah.
hate that they're on two discs. I would have loved those two to have been together so I could just pop that disc in and watch it. But now it'd be like I'd have to do both discs. But there is a lot of features on here that I did not get to because of the move. I'll just be honest. Pull back the curtain. but there is the audio commentary with Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson and Troy Howard. You got the author of Murder by Design, The Unsane Cinema, Dario Argento. You got Dario Argento's My Cinema Part 1 and 2, did you get a chance to do any of those as well? I really,
No, because I've been busy with school
yeah,
stuff, but
sorry.
it's yeah, I think I wouldn't mind watching the commentaries. I don't know if they have them for every episode. I think they have them for I think for part two it's on the Eyewitness. And then they have it on the tram for the first one. So they did
So,
the two Argento ones,
to
which makes
Argento, which
sense.
makes sense, 100%. The second disc, you got author design, you got the Unsane Cinema Argento, you got Dario Argento's Master of Horror, which is 87 minutes. You got a still streetcar named Fear interview with writer, director, producer Dario Argento. On the other side of the door, interview with writer, director Luigi Okozi. And then disc three is the Night Shift TV Nightmares interview with producer Dario Argento, Giallo on the TV interview with director Luigi Okozi. You got Taxi Driver's interview with director Lamberto Bava. Big Giallo Taxi interview with screenwriter Dardano Sacchetti. And then you got Calypso 9 interview with actress Antonelli Vitali. And then once again, disc 4 is Dario Argento's Nightmares, Giallo and Argento. This is chock full of a lot of stuff, Ian. I
Yeah,
just
it
got to
has a
get
lot
time
of
to get
yeah,
all into it. I really do.
yeah.
I promise you, viewers, I will deep dive into all this. I just have not had time to do
We'll
it.
end up we'll probably end up doing more on the Lamberto Bava one for another Lamberto Bava episode. I'd say for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because we still got to get into our high tension and the bravado giallo.
Yeah,
So there's so many that we got to get into anyway. So Lombardo's definitely coming up, and that'll be a
yeah.
road we'll get down. And we're still going to do a lot of Argento as well, Ian. Eventually, we'll get into those.
We still I might it might be cool to get Troy Howarth on for something Argento. Honestly, that
Yeah,
might
I
be
hope
the
we can make that happen, Troy. If
maybe
you're
the move.
watching, man, let's make this happen. We'd love to have you on, and I'd love to talk with Mr. Howard, Troy Howard, or maybe even Eugene or Ercole, man. All them guys
Yeah.
are awesome. So anyway, so that is Deep Cuts, and that is the Door into Darkness is the name of it. So sorry about that. Let me get it back up there again. So you can get this through Severin. I don't think they have a Blu-ray sale going on or 4K anything right now, but if you can find it on a good sale, definitely jump on it, man. I would definitely recommend it. But with that said, Ian, what do you got? Oh, did we have any? We didn't do the All Stars or anything for Eyewitness.
So
Sorry.
yes, let me got to go to the
Yeah, sorry about
page
that.
real quick. Normally I do this on my phone because it's kind of easier for me to just click on these on my phone. Um, let's see, Eyewitness. Okay, Mary Lou Tolo. I don't think we've seen her in anything else yet. Oh no, we have actually.
Which one?
My Dear Killer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I remember her in that. She is one of the main characters in that.
Man, that was in oh yeah, volume 2 of the Forgotten Gialli.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Um, Ricardo Salvino. We have seen him in Your Vice is a Locked Room on Only I Have the Key, Colt 38 Special Squad, and Stunt Squad. So that actually moves him up to Hall of
Hall
Fame
of Fame.
status in the background. Yeah, good for him. Glocco Honorado, Black Sabbath, and the Big Racket. So that makes him a superstar. He's not done yet, though. We're going to see him probably in more.
Mm.
I don't know if there's anybody else that I can think of for this one. Not a very big cast either. Just interesting enough, the woman who plays Anna, who's supposedly the dead body, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
This is the only thing she was ever in. Apparently, this is her only credit, at least
Wow.
according to Letterboxd. Yep.
I wonder how she or what she got into. Wow. Man. Maybe they just found her, or maybe she's a family member or something. Who knows? But cool. Well, that is that of this episode, man. What a fun time to sit back and just watch anything Argento related, man. And if nothing else, watch him just to have his little intros and see him try to do his best. Alfred Hitchcock did not pass the test. Alfred definitely has better intros.
I think he does okay. I mean,
He's
he's
mad.
like a C plus.
Yeah,
I'll give him a
yeah.
pass. Yeah,
I love John Carpenter and Body Bags doing his stuff, which I think was awesome. And out like I said, Alfred Hitchcock was perfect. He's manageable.
but
I
even
see.
Karloff and Black Sabbath is really
Ooh,
good
really
too.
true too.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't even think about that one. That's awesome. But what are we doing on the next episode, Ian? Because I'm super excited. This is going to be fun.
So I have no movies to show because
Mhm.
my pick for both actually is on will be on Tubi probably. But yeah, we're doing a Neo Giallo month, so we're doing Giallo movies made in the 21st century only, and you and I are each gonna pick one for per episode in January.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. So do you want to go ahead and reveal the movie you're doing?
Yeah, I'm choosing Cold Hell from 20. I think it's 2017 or 2018. Let me look here. 2017. Yep.
2017. And let's see, I'm going to pull out Abracadabra.
Nice. I do have that one. I just don't have it with me.
Yep, nice. So 2018 Abracadabra. This was a Cauldron release, which I think is now sold out, and I think it's out of print.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know for sure because I think I bought it
Mm-hmm.
at a convention when they were supposedly out of print, but because it was from Diabolic's table, it made sense that they may have still had some.
Mm-hmm.
It's only $15 too when I bought it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of a steal. But yeah, I've seen that one before. I'm looking forward to watching it again. It's a very stylish one too.
I have
Um,
not seen it, so I'm super excited to jump into this one.
yeah,
So that's going to be the next episode, and then we got two movies picked for the last one, correct? So uh,
yeah,
I'm excited about that one as well. One of them I've definitely seen, but I'm gonna save that one for the finale.
right.
So I'll put that one over here, and then we'll keep that a secret until the next episode. But super excited. So I do want to mention, since we did mention Cauldron Films, if you go to Cauldron Films and go to their website, or you can go to Diabolique DVD or probably Orbit or wherever. Man, I recommend getting there. They do some really great releases, Ian, but they do tend to be a little bit more limited, right? So once they sell out, like I think
Yeah,
Contraband might even actually be. There's a few of them that are going out of print, so I'm trying to grab as many. I'd love to get their full discography because they don't have a ton yet. What do they have? Probably 20 titles, 30 titles, whatever.
something like that. Yeah,
So I would love to have every one of them. I've got, quite a few of them, but I need to go back. I know Rats was one, and some different ones that they got. That
Ratman. Yeah.
Ratman, I need Ratman, and they're not super expensive. Like you can go to Cauldron and literally, you won't break the bank getting some of these
No,
now.
they've done a better job at marketing their prices. I think a little bit better than some other companies. I don't necessarily want to name names, but
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. And this one has the one I'm gonna be doing behind the scenes. It's got a surround. Doesn't look like, I'll get into features. I don't know if it has too many features, but I know the transfers will look good. So, anyways, just giving a plug out there for Cauldron Films. I don't have a shirt or a hat or anything to say, hey, I love you, but I do love you, Cauldron. I love this. Let me do this and we'll close out. I love their logo right here. I love that little, what do you call it? Like a Grim Reaper, I guess. And that little
yeah.
cauldron. When I see that, I get so excited, man. I just really like to see that. And of course, Vinegar Syndrome may have one of the coolest in Severn. Severn, oh God, I'm gonna get down that.
I think Cauldron and Severin are my two favorite boutique companies personally.
Mm,
I mean, obviously, I like Arrow, but they're almost like a step above in a way.
yeah,
But it's yeah, those are my favorites. I mean, I like Criterion obviously too, so I like all of them. It's just differing degrees in what they put out. I mean, I think Severin is the most like company that is the company that usually goes with stuff that I personally want, but all of them have their merits and values for sure.
100%. So get behind all these boutique labels and see what you can do and support independent cinema and support these labels, man, and buy your movies, buy physical media. I'm a big fan of physical media. So with that said, we're going to wrap this up. I want to mention this. If you go to landofthecreeps.blogspot.com, that is where the actual website that the podcast is held on. It's just a blog spot, okay? Landofthecreeps.blogspot.com. If you go over there and you click this episode and hit those show notes, I'm pretty sure I have it on this one. If not, on the regular LTC one, you'll see it. Hit my Letterboxd, okay? My Letterboxd is on there. And if you're part of Letterboxd, go there because in the process, I will be doing this in the very near future, Ian. I'm going to go through and do a list. So you can go to my list, and I'm going to put every movie that we've reviewed on Black Glove Mysteries so you can keep in
Nice.
touch with what movies we have physically reviewed. So I will have a list, and I'll try to update that every episode. So then when we watch one, two, three, four movies, whatever, it'll be updated. So there will be one list of where I'll put all the movies that we've done on Black Glove Mysteries, which clearly we're on episode 78 now. So we've reviewed probably close to 100 movies. We're in the 80, 90, who knows? We're in a lot of movies. So I will put a list of those and have them out there. So stay tuned for that. So if you go to landofthecreeps.blogspot.com, hit my letterboxd, or you can look up Gregor Mortis. I think you should be able to find it by my name, Gregor Mortis, Gregamortis, I believe. That's how it looks like on mine anyway. So do that, and we'll do that list for you and make it kind of easy to keep up with what we've done. So, Ian, what you got in closing tonight?
So you can add me on Facebook or Letterboxd by typing in my name, Ian Irza. I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Instagram at Urzanomics, and that's about it. There hasn't been. I know that Hello, This is the Doom Show. I know I announced that the last time, so there hasn't been any new show developments with me or anything. So yeah, that's about it.
Cool. All right, for me, and you can follow us Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. Just look Greg and Mortis up, and you'll find us. If you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. Click that subscribe button.
Yes, please do that.
Please, right? Every other Friday, you will get a Black Glove Mysteries episode right here on this YouTube channel. If you're listening to this via audio podcast platforms, every Friday you're going to have it released on iTunes or Apple, whatever they call it, not Stitcher, Apple, where we at, Spotify, all the places you'll find us. And we'd love for you to subscribe over there as well. If you will, give us those 5-star ratings if you like the show too, man. That really helps on those podcast platforms, get our name out there a little bit. We'd love for that. And I want you to go to, once again, landthecreeps.blogspot.com, the site. Go to the right side of the toolbar, and you'll see up top, you'll see store. Click on the store. And if you go to the store, you can go in there and check out some of the swag that we got going on. You can get some Black Glove Mystery shirts. You can do phone cases. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to help support the show. And Pearl does such a good job of keeping that going. And we got some designs from Edward Delgado and just some other designs over there Pearl's worked on. And I think some really cool ones, Ian. I think we got some really cool stuff over there. So
I would agree. I think that they're awesome, and I'm very thankful for whoever's helped.
Yes, absolutely. Everything counts. So with that said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for helping keep horror alive. And as we close this out, Ian, how do we like to close this out, Kyle Bishop?
Get your jolly on.
That's right. We get you jolly on. Help keep horror alive and do that one movie at a time, one review at a time. Until next time, peace.